Peace, family. All right, so I often speak about how sisters should nurture and teach and brothers should protect and provide. I say that sisters should know how to sew and garden and cook. I say brothers should know how to hunt and fish and should learn trades like carpentry and plumbing. And whenever I say this, people always say, "What's 2016? Trying to take us back to the olden days." And I'm not really trying to take us back to anything. I'm just serious about a revolution. And I know that there is absolutely nothing revolutionary about being dependent on your so-called oppressors for food, clothing, shelter, education, and protection. If this system that we are all so dependent on were destroyed today, how many of us would still have the skills needed to provide for ourselves the basic necessities? Sisters, how many of us know how to sew our own clothes? How many of us know how to grow our own food? How many of us know how to prepare nutritious meals out of the food that we've grown or out of the animals that we've raised, for those of us that eat meat? How many of us know anything about raising animals? How many of us actually think that we can teach our children to read and write when so many of us get frustrated just trying to help our children with their homework? You know what I mean? We can't holler about a revolution if we are not ready to put in the work towards preparing ourselves for a revolution. Brothers, how many of you know how to hunt or skin and properly clean an animal after you've killed it? How many of you know anything about plumbing or carpentry? If somebody gave you all the tools and equipment needed to build a house, would you be able to do it? So maybe I am taking us back to the olden days, maybe. But I know that my grandmother taught me how to sew and how to garden. So you need to link with some of these elders that were here during the olden days and have them teach you some of these basic skills to be self-sufficient. Because being self-sufficient is revolutionary. And back in those olden days, they were self-sufficient because they had to be, because they weren't allowed to use anyone else's things. So they had to provide for themselves. And so that's what we need. Now, family, understand that these Caucasian folks are parasites and they need their host to survive. They need us. All throughout history, you can see that they have always needed us to survive. They are dependent on us being dependent on them. Okay? And if we are no longer dependent on them, when we are no longer dependent on them, that is when we have reached a revolution. Okay? Now, if you look throughout history, you will find that anytime someone has decided they no longer want to be dependent on them, they have destroyed what they have. Or they, go to war with them. What's going over there in the Middle East right now, that is going on because they decided they no longer want to use U.S. currency. Okay? What happened in Black Wall Street, they decided they were going to build their own. You know what I mean? And so they destroyed that. So yes, once we start teaching our own, building our own, growing our own, creating our own, we are going to have to protect our own as well. And that is where we messed up in the past because we did not have a military. So that is why I stress so much organization, strategic planning, and preparation. That's why I stress that so much, because we need a military. We need our own chain of command. We need those that have any type of military training or experience to train our young brothers. Because right now, they want to go to war. They just are unorganized. They're out here rioting. They're out here looting. They are not prepared for the type of war that they want. They're only prepared for the type of battles that they fight amongst each other. You know what I mean? And that's not going to do nothing but cause a lot of bloodshed. And then we have other people that think they are making a change, but everything they're doing is completely ineffective. Protest and marching back and forth with an RBG flag and a bullhorn, that is ineffective. I'm sorry, it's not conducive to growth. Boycotting, if you don't have demands, it is not effective. If we want to be taken seriously, we have to take this seriously. We need to organize. We need to plan. Imagine if we had a bunch of brothers that were organized and were serious, that wrote down their demands, that were standing in position with their firearms and they had their license to carry. They are going to be taken seriously. That is powerful. And that is when they're going to step to them and be like, okay, who's the leader? Who do I talk to? Who's in charge? And that's when you give them your demands. That is powerful. That is revolutionary. Running around making a bunch of noise is not revolutionary. It's not effective at all. Okay? What we need in each state, every major city in each state needs to have an organization. Okay? And they need to have training programs. They need to have programs where homeschooling programs, anything. Just anything that is going to help our youth. And every month they need to meet with each other and they need to decide what each city needs, what's going on in each city, the progress being made in each city. So let's say in this city, education is the problem. Y'all get together, y'all put your resources together, and y'all take care of that in that city. Let's say over here in this city, the problem is homeless people. Okay? Y'all put your resources together, try to figure out how to take care of that, battle some vacant buildings or something. Let's say over here in this city, the problem is brothers keep killing each other. Y'all come together and y'all take care of them. And when I say take care of them, I mean take care of them. Because if you're not with us, you're against us. You know what I mean? And so that's what we really need. When I say protect and provide, that's what I mean. When I say nurture and teach, that's what I mean. You can say I'm taking us back to the olden days, whatever. I'm just serious about all of this. I'm serious. And too many people are not serious. And you cannot keep letting our beliefs and our upbringings divide us. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to work with you because you believe in this. If this person has space or a building that you can use, and is willing to let you use, are you going to not use it because they believe in something that you don't believe? If this sister knows how to sew, knows how to garden, and you know that you need these skills, are you not going to let her teach you because she doesn't believe in something that you do believe? If this brother knows martial arts and he knows all things about firearms and stuff, are you not going to let him teach you because he believes in something that you don't believe? We need to put all this crap, put it all to the side. We need to take all of this seriously. Because we are being hunted and killed. And all of our differences need to be gone. All of that is irrelevant right now. We need to come together. Uniting is revolutionary. Okay? And so yeah, family, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. That's my rant for today. Okay? So, yeah. In the olden days, the only mistake we had is that we did not provide, we did not protect for ourselves. We've always been able to provide for ourselves. We've all been able to build our own. We've always been able to create our own. We've always been able to teach our own. The only problem is we haven't been able to protect it. And that's the only problem that we have. That's all we need. We have the anger, we have the manpower. We just don't have the we just don't have the organization. We are not organized. And so that's why I stress that so much, family. And yeah, like I said, that's all I have to say about the family. Peace and love.